Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be going over the next Battle Pass information. As I'm sure most of you are aware, the last Battle Pass for Nick did end on Thursday, and then we didn't have a Battle Pass start straight away. I personally actually prefer a week break to build up that anticipation for the Battle Passes. Personally, I'd hope for that to be a thing forever. But this is what is going to be happening now, and you can see what's happening. People are trying to guess what the next character is going to be. There was a teaser sent out by Scopely about what the next character is going to be, potentially coming to the next Battle Pass, and we could just quickly look into it. And if we just check out the Mythic Battle Pass, as you can see, the information that they provided us with is pretty basic. It just says, Mythic Battle Pass update, hello survivors. We wanted to share the release of Season 11 Mythic Battle Pass will be on Thursday, April 28th, 2022. So that is that week break that I'm talking about. And like I say, I actually personally prefer this. Build it up a little bit, make it more of a launch. That's actually kind of cool. While we wait, can you guess who is the next Mythic Battle Pass exclusive fighter? And now this image was shared along with this little cryptic message. And they've obviously censored out the character that it's going to be, but we've had a lot of predictions already. And considering that, you know, there is a Telltale event going on right now, a lot of people are predicting that it could potentially be Duck, because Duck, obviously, when he was in the game, spoiler alert, he did kind of turn a little bit in the storyline. I think there was one particular playthrough that you could do where he'd actually like stand up and actually be turned, but it'd have to be done in a very certain way. The majority of the endings they had, it was basically before he really turned into a walker, and that's what a lot of people are predicting. It does look like a little kid as well. There's, when it comes to the characters that even we know are coming, there's only one kid on the horizon that we really truly know is coming out, and that is going to be Gold Mythic Duck. If we didn't see potentially like the bottom half of the character and it was just the top half, we could potentially have said maybe it's Lee. They could have been doing a Lee here. If we didn't see that hand, it's the hand's the real giveaway. We could have potentially been like maybe like a Molly in the sort of like the raincoat. I think it's just the ears make it kind of obvious too, because Duck did have the big ears as well. Now the art here does look like it's also going to be the special avatar that's going to be in the Battle Pass. As we look at previous Battle Passes like Nick's and Angel's, we did have the same sort of art style for their Battle Pass images. Now I'm guessing the actual visuals of Duck could be black and white. However, in contrast to the characters like Nick and Angel, where they're kind of based on the comic book, this is based on the game. So will it be a black and white character? Will it be a comic book styling? We'll have to wait and see for sure. If they keep up with the same sort of like thing they've done in the past, it probably will be. It would just be like a walkerish style character that you can get as visuals. Now this Battle Pass might be bringing back something extra special, however, because it's Duck as a character. What this could also mean is they're going to be bringing back an exclusive weapon as a reward. I'll take you all the way back to the Season 1 Mythic Trials announcement. And it says here, keep an eye out for a series of new Season 1 roadmaps that will feature our latest arrivals in a unique new story. This is still yet to come. Plus, more to come featuring an exclusive weapon with Duck's P90, a Season 1 avatar, as well as Gold Mythic Lily, Duck, Molly, and Lee. Obviously, we haven't seen those last 4 characters yet. I have previewed all the characters in the Telltale, their arts, and trying to predict what they're going to be. If you want to get in on that conversation and trying to guess what traits those characters are going to be before they come out, you should see a link to a video in the top right hand corner right now. But look at the things they said before. It said a Season 1 avatar, which is pretty much what they're showing there, I think. But also there's Duck's P90. And here is the picture of Duck's P90. It's called Duck's Cleaving Telltale P90. Now, one thing to mention about this weapon, while his art does have a P90 in his hands, the picture of the weapon here doesn't have the attached icon. When a weapon is attached to a character, so potentially he could have like 2 types of P90, one that is attached to him, and then one that is going to be potentially able to be equipped onto him, or it's like some of the previous characters we've had before. Like we have had some characters and weapons that we've seen before. I'll show you some silver characters, for instance. We've got Kelly here, who is holding his weapon in his art, but he hasn't actually got his weapon in his hands on his actual, kit. But his weapon was released as a separate side weapon. So that potentially could be what's happening here. We could get the actual character with no weapon attached in their hands, and it will just be like a default pistol, because it's looking like Duck's going to be alert with this being an alert weapon. And this weapon could be like a side weapon that you could potentially put in his hands, or you could potentially put in someone like Kenny's hands, or maybe Lily if she does turn out to be an alert character, or honestly any alert character you want, because it isn't necessarily going to be a Telltale weapon. Like, it might not have something Telltale on it, but this is a good opportunity to maybe introduce another weapon that has a specific buff for the actual allegiance. And I think if they did this in the future, this would actually be really cool. I think losing the weapon in the battle pass did lose a little bit of hype, and waiting to see what that weapon is a very, very big moment. I think it was one of the more exciting moments in the game historically, and I think if they always put a weapon in the battle pass but it's very limited to a certain faction, for instance, they could bring out like a Typhoon weapon in a future battle pass, and then it has a Typhoon buff on it, like all Typhoon characters get like 60% resist to a certain resist or something like that. It just potentially like boosts that allegiance a little bit, but also limits the scope of how powerful that weapon can be, and that means they can make it a bit more powerful for that particular allegiance. I like the potential of this. Obviously, I'm definitely assuming a lot here, but I'm just assuming a lot just based on one thing. It doesn't have that little icon. It doesn't have that icon. Say it's an attached weapon. It is just Duck's cleaving Telltale P90. The only thing we know is it is going to be an alert weapon, and it is going to be a 5-star weapon off the start, which generally means it's got a 4 slot already, and that's where potentially one of the special, slots could be in the 3rd or 4th. Generally, if it's going to have anything special, that's where I'll be sitting. Kind of like the allegiance weapon we have already, which is Alpha's Savage Dirty Machete, which is, giving buffs to Whisperers in the 3rd slot. When this initially got released, I wasn't that big a fan, and it was mainly because of the actual Whisperers that we had open to actually use. But as we've got more Whisperers, there's more potential, and as we've got more game modes to actually use this in, again, more potential. Funnily enough, there is going to be a podcast coming out probably later this week where we talk about weapons. It's going to be me, Man on the Moon, and Tex again, so stay tuned for that video. We do talk about allegiance potential there as well. So that's the end of my video, guys. If you have any predictions, what you want to see in that weapon, if it is going to be a standalone weapon, what you want to see in the character, do you think it's going to be Duck? Do you think it's going to be someone else? It could potentially be a different character with Duck as the avatar. That would be something different. It wouldn't go in line with like Nick and Angel, but it could potentially be something that happens. I very much doubt that though. If you have any thoughts about the upcoming Battle Pass and what you kind of miss from Battle Passes that we've seen in the past and what you'd want to see in future ones, leave your thoughts down in the comments, guys. That is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.